The morning sun struggled to pierce through the dense fog that clung to the valleys of Kashmir. Silence hung heavily in the air, broken only by the occasional chirp of a mountain bird or the distant rustle of leaves. But for Captain Aryan Singh, this quiet was a lie, a fragile cover before the storm. Aryan, a veteran of the Indian Army, adjusted his helmet and scanned the jagged peaks around him. The year was 2025, and the old wounds of partition had once again been ripped open. Despite decades of uneasy peace, the border had become a cauldron of tension where one wrong step could ignite a firestorm. The latest skirmishes had transformed this place into a battlefield where every rock and ridge held the memories of fallen comrades. Across the line of control, LOC, Major Adeel Khan, a seasoned officer in the Pakistan Army, was also preparing his men. He leaned against a cold stone bunker, his face hardened by years of conflict but his heart burdened with the weight of his duty. Adeel had grown up listening to stories of his grandfather's bravery during the 1965 war. Now, he faced the same uncertain horizon where the whispers of peace seemed a lifetime away. The conflict had begun as a series of border skirmishes, triggered by an accidental drone incursion. What followed was a swift escalation, artillery duels, precision strikes, and nighttime raids that shredded the fragile ceasefire. Both sides dug in, bracing for a conflict that neither truly wanted but felt powerless to prevent. As dawn broke, on the fifth day of fighting, Aryan's radio crackled to life. "Enemy movement detected on your 12, prepare for engagement." His jaw tightened. There was no time for fear or second thoughts. Adeel, hearing the distant echoes of mortar, fire, steeled himself. He had given his soldiers a simple order: hold the line. They had families waiting for them in Lahore, Peshawar, and Karachi, just as Aryan's men had loved ones in Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore. The first exchange of fire shattered the morning calm. Bullets snapped through the air like angry hornets, and the smell of gunpowder mixed with the crisp mountain air. Aryan's squad pushed forward, their boots crunching over frost-covered rocks. Adeel's men answered with disciplined, calculated bursts, using the terrain to their advantage. Hours stretched into a brutal, unending cycle of advance and retreat, the landscape becoming a living testament to their struggle. Blood-stained. The snow and the mountains echoed with the cries of the wounded. Yet amidst the chaos, a strange respect grew between the two opposing leaders. They fought not just for territory but for their country's honor, a bond forged in fire. As the sun dipped below the peaks, casting long shadows over the battlefield, Aryan found himself face to face with Adeel, both of their squads momentarily stalled in a rocky, wind-swept pass. Their eyes locked for a brief electric moment. Two soldiers, two patriots, each with everything to lose. Neither raised their weapon. In that heartbeat, both men saw the same thing: the futility of the bloodshed, the shared grief of their peoples, the desperate need for a different path. But just as quickly, the moment passed. A distant explosion shattered the fragile silence, and both men were pulled back into the war they could not escape. As the battle raged on, Aryan whispered a silent prayer for peace, while Adeel clenched his fists, vowing to protect his brothers in arms. The fog of war had returned, thick and unrelenting, and the echoes of their unspoken understanding were drowned out by the roar of gunfire. In the end, they remained soldiers, bound by duty, divided by history and forever marked by the mountains they had bled to defend.